This is Greg Hall with Jennie Rees from the backside of Churchill Downs at one of its starting gates with another Tracking the Derby segment. It's post position draw day, Jennie, and everybody would like to kind of be here what the equivalent of the 14 hole would be. Nobody wants to be over there at the 1 hole.
Absolutely. I think most people want to be like between 5 and 13 or 14 and even 15, 16, maybe 17, but nobody wants, that's the one thing they will tell you. Almost everybody will tell you. Baffert won't tell you anything.
Well,
it's the rail.
We've asked trainers about it. You know, Pletcher said you can't do anything about it. Baffert won't talk about it.
I don't like talking about post position because I don't want to jinx myself. I know what I like. I know what I like.
Know what you don't
Just
like.
think positive. We don't know what I don't like. But,
He's superstitious. And Ahmed Zayat, we were asking him, the owner of American Pharoah, what post sort of in the range he'd like. And he said, I can't even say anything because Bob will kill me. He says he's that superstitious to think if you say it out loud, then you're going to get what you don't want.
Of course, we're going to do the post position draw live today at Courier-Journal.com at 5:30. Come back for that.
it's something that, you know what, you think about it, it'll probably be the last stressful moment that we have is the draw. There'll be a stressful moment and a lot of anxiety, just a lot of anxiety. You know, we're just like, we're like when they send a man into space, those different, when they're shooting off those stages, stage one, okay, all looks good, you know, so we're like, that's the way we are, but at the same time we want to enjoy it, and I brought Bodie and my older boys are coming, so we just want to have a good time.
Interestingly enough, it'll be the traditional pill pull draw by the racing officials, but both Pletcher and Baffert would like to do it that old convoluted way.
Right, where you drew you drew, the pill pull was to decide the order in which you picked your position. So if you got the rail, it'd be very good. You'd have the first pick. But there were some real problems with that. One, it was a made-for-TV thing, and then they didn't have the TV. But the other thing is that if you had a scratch, it might have you had to move over. It might have completely changed your logic for picking that spot. You did not get necessarily the post that you wanted. So personally, I like it this way. It's literally the luck of the draw.
You know, we saw Looking at Lucky a few years ago really have a rough trip out of the one hole, and that's a large part of why Baffert's so jittery about it. But, you know, you've been talking to people, everybody thinks there's a bunch of horses that want to be at or near the front, but maybe not.
Well, you know, they talk about all the speed because there's a lot of really good horses that are just naturally fast, but there's no horses in there that have to have the lead, no real sprinters in there. But I was talking to Jim Cassidy, the trainer of Ocho 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 this morning, and he was saying, I don't think that the actual fast fractions that some people are anticipating will develop because they're going to be so cognizant everybody's going to take back, which could maybe, like 2002 War Emblem, set it up for a horse to go wire to wire, with the exception is this is a lot deeper group than in 2002. And but clearly a lot of horses are going to be taken out of their comfort zone, out of what they are used to doing. They're going to have to do something that they haven't done before. But you know what? That's true in most derbies.
That's horse racing. I'll be interested to see if the horse Jennie talked about, Ocho Ocho Ocho, who is the shortest horse on the track, is draws next to Dortmund, the tallest horse on the track. It'd be like us standing next to each other.
Yeah, that's exactly. And but Jim had an answer for that because he said, I heard there's Jim Cassidy. There's another really tall horse. I said, yeah, Tensendor. He said, I'll sneak in through between them. I said, yeah, they won't even know you're there passing them. So, way to take a,
different approach.
Different approach, absolutely.
So from the backside, this is Greg Hall with Jennie Rees for another Tracking the Derby segment. Please come back to Courier-Journal.com this afternoon at 5:30 for the post position draw for the 141st Kentucky Derby. We'll see you then.